All right, so I'm just looking at the charts right now. NFP was today, which is the non-farm payroll. Comes out every first Friday of the month, but we're not gonna be talking about that. Um, I'm saying a lot, but No Nut November. What is it? And if you're new to my channel, if you want to partake in NoFap or No Nut November, which is an introduction to NoFap, which a lot of people hear about it, which is essentially not busting a nut. And here's the great thing that people just don't understand about No Nut November. A lot of people think that busting nuts is normal, but there is no downside to being on NoFap, to not busting nuts. Like, okay, you don't bust a nut and you don't experience any of these huge benefits that people talk about: increased confidence, increased spiritual connection with God, increased energy, increased confidence, less social anxiety, more less performance anxiety, not performance anxiety, ED, erectile dysfunction, looking at women more as human beings and objects, which has more to do with getting rid of porn. But No Nut November, I think, is an introduction for a lot of men into this space that many people don't hear about. And here's Google's definition of No Nut November. It's a challenge where men try to abstain from masturbation for the month of November. Some people participate in No Nut November, or also known as NNN, for its alleged physical, mental, and spiritual benefits, such as reduced erectile dysfunction, which I mentioned. However, mental and spiritual benefits, such as erectile. That's all it says. In fact, some research suggests that, man, people in science suggest that regular ejaculation can improve sperm quality, sleep quality. They want to keep you trapped, because I know how I feel when I fap and release. I feel like I feel lethargic. I feel less energy. All the like. I know. I was gonna redo this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm stumbling over my words. But currently, I'm on a 162-day streak, which I've had one wet dream during it. I've gone 160 days before this, before relapsing, aka hooking up twice and releasing there. So I've got some experience to this, and it wasn't easy. Throughout the years, I could barely go 2 days. That's how bad it was. And that's when you know it's an addiction. If you can't even go a month without getting insane urges to want to bust a nut, then you need to at least try No Nut November. And what's the worst that can happen? You don't experience any benefits. But like, I just want to ask people questions like, what benefits do you experience by busting nuts? Constantly giving into that animalistic desire of the brain to bust a nut. And biologically speaking, it's programmed to, you want to create offspring, you want to spread your seed. And after you supposedly spread your seed, whether it's busting into a tissue or busting into an actual person, you're going to have that refractory period of feeling tired. And if you just skip that step, then you're just never going to feel tired. And yes, there's more to it. You need to incorporate other habits. You need to transmute that energy through meditation, through breath work, through movement, through just strength training. But it's like, there are no downsides to being on NoFap. Like, it's just continually up. So why not try it? And day one, I'm going to be like saying tips you've probably heard of, like, you need to do this, cold showers this, meditation this. And I was also thinking last night, or during my meditation actually this morning, coaching people slash personal training people of course, not anytime recent, but until I like build up my own habits, build up my own physique, and of course practice what I'm preaching, it's going to be different than a lot of coaching that you hear, that people tell you do this, do that, and they're in like a coaching role of instructing you what to do. My version of coaching will be like, cool, let's do this together. You want to get in the best shape of your life? Then I'm going to get in the best shape of my life and I'm going to share what I'm doing. And if I slack off on some stuff, or if I don't do certain stuff, then I'll refund you the money. Like, I just want to be a person that practices what he preaches. So if I'm not running, if I'm not strength training, and if you're doing all that, then refund. Like, that's just future plans that I'm thinking of. Looking at the markets right now, just picking back up into it. Celebrating my birthday today with my family because my mom's birthday is pretty close to mine. And NoNutNovember. If it's a good jump start into the lifestyle if you want to go that far. But like, just try it out. There's nothing bad that comes from fapping, and the whole myth of prostate cancer, and if the body wants to release, then it will release through wet dreams. If you're so scared about that, it will release that way. And over time, the body just kind of, I think, just uses it, and it just releases it less and less and less. Because I have only had one wet dream. I've talked to many people who have gone years who haven't had any wet dreams. So anyways, NoNutNovember. Comment down below if you're partaking in it. It's a good jump start. It builds up momentum. And I find through habits and streaks, I need momentum. I need at least like 7 to 14 days just to get the ball rolling, just to create those neural networks in the brain, wirings to that activity. And once I get going, I can get going. But it's like those first few days always that is the hardest. And yeah, just the best way to go about this is to avoid all potential triggers, which could be emotional triggers, of course, physical triggers of like triggers of seeing images. So we just have to make this journey as easy as we can, as stress-free as we can. It's like deleting all social media, not spending time on the phone, keeping ourselves busy, all that stuff that we know makes this journey of celibacy or NoNutNovember just so much easier. So, hey, I'm partaking in it. I'm making it. I've been kind of slacking off with just still focusing a little too much on women and getting down that road and talking to people. And there's nothing wrong with talking to women, but like focusing a little too much on that. So my challenge is to just not even focus on women. Of course, I'm not talking about like you all who are following me, who's also females, males, because I have a large demographic of people who follow me. I'm so grateful. I'm not talking about you all. I'm talking about just the people in my phone that I text, which isn't too many, but it's still distractions nonetheless. And I need to dial in. And yes, the strength train is getting there. The runs are slowly getting there. I have this pain on the top of my foot, so technically I've been walking. Hey, it's all building back up slowly. So, yeah. A huge shout out to 1.91K subscribers. We're like 500 hours away from getting monetized, which could happen in November, could happen in December. We will see. But anyways, I'm just extremely grateful. Thank you for following. Feeling good, and the best way I know to give back is to just keep getting after it and stop slacking. So, peace.